What's something we all fight with? Our hands. But what's connected to our hands? Arms. Hello everybody and welcome back. And today, for some reason, I decided I wanted to talk about ARMS for the Nintendo Switch. I feel like this game is sort of forgotten about. Nobody really talks about it anymore, but I mean, this was a game that came out pretty early into the Switch's life. And I think it says a lot about Nintendo, where they were at the time, and how they thought the Nintendo Switch would be used, and how they presented the Nintendo Switch at the time. So yeah, ARMS was announced actually first at the Nintendo Switch presentation on January 12th, 2017. And they didn't show much of the game, honestly. They only really showed the thumbs up position and like the basic gameplay itself. Not much. I think it was like the whole segment was like 5 minutes. It had this pre-made trailer as well. But yeah, we didn't even hear about ARMS until the Nintendo Direct in April, where they had a 7-minute segment dedicated to ARMS. This was the first Direct after the Switch launch. They talked about ARMS for 7 minutes, and again, we didn't hear much for a little bit after that until there was an entire ARMS Direct. In May, they did an ARMS Direct where they talked about ARMS in its entirely. This is where they learned all the fighters, more information about the game specifically, like all the modes, all the weapons, all the stuff. And then in May and June, they had global test fires for the online mode before launch. And then on June 16th, 2017, ARMS was released. So this game kind of followed... This game reminds me a lot of Splatoon for a few reasons, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, this game did follow the Splatoon model of free updates, content updates. There's actually no DLC unlike Splatoon 2 and 3. There's no DLC for this, just free content updates. And there were 5 main updates after launch. Some of them added both new fighters and stages, some of them only added fighters, some only added stages, but in total there was 5 new fighters that were launched and 5 new stages that were launched. The new fighters include Max Brass, Lola Pop, Misanago, Springton, I love that name, and Dr. Coil. The stages they then introduced were Sky Arena, Viva Dulce, Springer Ring, that's a good name, Temple Grounds, and Name Redacted. That's the actual name of the stage. I didn't make that up. The name of the stage is Name Redacted. But yeah, I mean, that's the basics of ARMS. In 2018, after launch, they also did have a free demo for the offline mode for some reason. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, I think this is a little weird that nobody really remembers or talks about this game anymore. It's sort of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say lost, but like, I mean, Min Min was at in Super Smash Bros. I mean, that was like weird to me. I was like, oh, ARMS. And this was like 2020. I think when Min Min was added, and I was like, nobody's talked about ARMS in like 3 or 4 years. I mean, like, what is going on? So, but anyway, I wanted to go back and talk about ARMS. It does remind me a lot of Splatoon. I mean, this came out 2 years after Splatoon 1. I mean, it came out like a month before Splatoon 2. So, I mean, that would make sense. But like in terms of like being a new Nintendo franchise, I mean, Nintendo doesn't make new franchises very often. I think in terms of franchises with multiple games, the newest one is Splatoon, and that was from 2015, so that was almost 10 years ago. And I wanted to go through ARMS and talk about it. I just played it, and I recorded some video for it, and then I realized the bitrate was terrible on the part I did the voiceover for, so I went back and got some more footage, which is sort of important. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the notes, stuff like that. By the way, this is not a review, a solid review. This is more of just my thoughts after not playing the game for like 4 or 5 years and then just randomly coming back to it. Yeah, so the first thing I did was I tried the motion controls, the thumbs up controls, which you can see is actually the way they suggest you play. It's actually kind of cool. They have a nice like instruction thing about how to play with the thumbs up controls, and saying you can also play with the Joy-Con grip, the handheld mode, Pro Controller, or the single Joy-Con, which I'm being honest, this game is not that complicated, sort of, but I have no clue how you're going to be playing it with a single Joy-Con. That would just suck. I think Nintendo had a big emphasis at the time of having games with single Joy-Con modes, which I still think the single Joy-Con mode is a really good thing to have. You know, it's always nice so you don't have to, like, even if it's not the most optimal way, if you just have your Nintendo Switch handheld, sorry for this, if you just have your Nintendo Switch handheld, you want to play Mario Kart with 2 people, or even Smash. I think Smash kind of works with 1 Joy-Con, but yeah, you can just, oh, here you go, plop, plop, and then you both playing. But anyway, yeah, they recommend you play with the thumbs up grip. And the first time recently, like today, when I tried the thumbs up grip, I thought it sucked. Like, what do I do? Like, all right, the controls, like the the actual, like, you know, the thumbs up thing. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's because the controllers feel small. Why does it keep doing that? The controllers feel small, but yeah, I don't know, but like it doesn't feel responsive. Like I'll punch it, just feels like I'm. Try again. It didn't feel responsive to me, at all. It was like annoying. I felt like there was a delay. And there, like, sometimes it would guard when I didn't want it to guard because I didn't move it perfectly. Sort of, it did not feel good the first time I tried it. But I think some of it was the first fighter I had to play against was Bite and Bark, which if you look at my notes, I just have Bite and Bark suck. I'm trying to just get forward here. I'm trying to go. Oh, okay. Oh, I hate this guy. Because that was like, I hated fighting it. Every time I played, I just literally quit. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It was like any, I didn't like it initially. I was like, oh my god, no wonder I only played 5 hours of this game. But yeah, and also the problem I had is that there was any gap. If you were not just constantly punching, it felt like you would just instantly get boom, 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 boom. Oh, God, KO, you're dead. But yeah, I think that was mainly because I played against Bark and Bite. But I did switch to the Pro controller, and I played against the same fighter. Didn't really help much, but then I just scrapped it and started playing it again. And then I started getting far, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this doesn't suck. With the Pro controller, it was actually kind of fun. I don't think you get a single... Yeah, I got it perfect. And then I'm like, all right, well, let me try the thumbs up grip again. And, yeah, it was more fun that time. I still prefer playing with the controller, because I do feel like there is one problem with ARMS, and I feel like it's too simple for a controller, like a controller-based fighting game, but it's a little too complicated for the motion controls. Because in my opinion, the motion controls should just be easy. Like, it should be like Wii Sports, natural feeling. Yeah, I feel like the jumping in this game, especially with these controls, it's very reliant on the jumping. And it's not hard to jump, but it doesn't really feel as intuitive as everything else. The blocking, was, as I said, it was sort of a pain, but yeah, the moving left to right, punch, move left, move right, block, that's fine. But jumping was sort of weird because you'd forget to do it because you're just going like this, and all of a sudden you gotta remember to hit the button on the top. I don't think it's bad to hit the button for the power-up since you don't do that all the time, but the jumping, yeah, and I don't know, it just didn't feel as responsive. But I mean, I don't know, it just felt like for the punching, because you had to do the curves and stuff like that, it was just a little too complicated with the motion controls. And then with the regular controls, it was kind of simple to use. I felt like it was just button mashing. I did pretty much play through most of the story. I started with Springman, and then I later changed to Min Min. I had a lot more fun playing as Min Min than I did Springman. I didn't want to play through the entire game, although there isn't really much to play through, but it would have been repetitive and it would have taken me forever to try every fighter, so I didn't really feel like it. But, yeah. That's another thing I kind of have a problem with this game, is outside of the main game, there isn't much content. Basically, you have the main Grand Prix, as it's called, for some reason. I don't know. I've never heard of anything other than a race be called a Grand Prix. You have the Grand Prix, which is like a campaign mode where you sort of fight against different people. You have that, and then you have a party mode, which has you know, you can just choose to fight, like just do single solo fights, and you pick the stage or whatever. But then you also have some of the modes that you have in Grand Prix: V-ball, hoops, skill shot, and headlock scramble. V-ball, hoops, and skill shot are the ones that you have in the Grand Prix mode as like in between. So you do like 2 fights, then on one of these mini games, and 2 fights in one of these mini games. I do like those 3 modes. The headlock scramble, which is not, as far as I don't remember, I don't think it's in the main game. I don't remember. It was sort of fun though. So yeah, I like that mode too. But yeah, team fight is where you fight on teams of 2. I don't think you do that in the main Grand Prix mode unless you're doing 2-player mode, which then you do both on the same team. But yeah, and then there's also the 100 man thing where you try to get 100 These little things, they go down with one punch, but I got to like 83, I think, so I couldn't beat it, but I got to 83 with Min Min. But yeah, when I first initially played it, and then with the part that I did with the voiceover for that you've probably been hearing throughout the rest of the video, I didn't think it was that fun. Yeah. Not a bad game, though. I mean, like, if I had to rank it, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5. Like, I mean, it definitely is like, feels like 2017 Nintendo Switch game, like you know, like new, exciting. I didn't really like the Nintendo Switch didn't really have like a place yet. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know if I'd pay $60 for it though. I mean, in 2017, was it worth $60? Yeah, probably, but now, no, I don't know what Nintendo's currently charging for this game. But I mean. Like, yeah, in my opinion, this ain't worth $60. It's worth maybe like $30 or $40 the most. Probably closer to 30, but I mean, yeah, I mean, not bad game. 3 out of 5. But then I realized the footage looked like crap, and I needed some like actual good footage to show for B-roll. I had a lot more fun, you know, with the controller as Min Min doing the Grand Prix mode. It wasn't like a lot of fun, and it gets, at least for me, although I have ADHD and my attention span is kind of low sometimes, but it doesn't feel. It felt pretty fun, but I mean, it got a little repetitive. I can't imagine trying to play every single fighter for this game not spread out. I mean, I feel like you do the Grand Prix mode, then you wait a bit, and then do a Grand Prix mode, then another character, then you wait a bit. But yeah, I mean, that part, I had a decent amount of fun with the controller. Again, though, it just gets to that repetitiveness, because I just feel like you're just punching. Doesn't feel like there's much skill to it. There's the training mode I could have tried. Maybe there is more skill to it than I understand. But then again, that gets to a problem, though, because when you have the motion controls, which are the way you're intended to play the game, it gets a little complicated, you know, if you make it too complicated. So I feel like it was just in this weird zone. I have friends coming over tomorrow. I may have them try to play this game together. I'll let you know if it was fun or not. But yeah, I think as a party game, it would be fun. But I don't feel like it's like this. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's that in depth. It's pretty basic, and I wish I had some more options. The mini games are fun, but I mean, you play them 1 or 2 times, it's like done. I can't imagine playing this game for like more than an hour at most, and that may have been the point. But the game is $60. I think it's still $60. ARMS on the eShop is $60. There's a demo available, but it's $60. If you go to GameStop right now, it's available for $30. Amazon $51. Best Buy is still $60. Okay, it's still about $60. So I mean, like, I don't know. If it was like $40, yeah. But I don't know. It was $40. I would say good party game. That would fit the price. $60. I don't know. At the time the Nintendo Switch came out, this is a very 2017 and like early Nintendo Switch games. It gives off like the same vibes as Splatoon and 1-2 Switch. Ooh, let me know if you want me to make a video about 1-2 Switch and the sequel they made for it last year. Yeah, if you don't know, they made a sequel to 1-2 Switch, and let me know if you want to talk about that one. But anyway, ARMS failed. I don't know. It sold like 2.5 million copies, which I don't know for Nintendo. I know that's a lot. Like, that's not bad. I think they would have sold more if this game came out. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, the thing is, this game is very simple, so I feel like at the time it was okay because like there wasn't much for the Switch, and you know, it was Nintendo was just struggling with the Wii U. They were trying new things. I feel like this was more acceptable at the time, but because there weren't as many Switches at the time, people were even having a hard time getting them. They didn't sell as many copies, and then it just, after about 2018, no one really cared about the game anymore. But I feel like if it launched later, it could have sold more copies, but I don't think it would have lasted as long. But maybe they would have updated it for longer because more people would have bought it. I don't know. In its current state, and I don't think it's getting, I think this is the final state. I don't think it's getting I think it's okay. I think they should drop the price to $40. For $40, I would say if you get like 5 or 6 or 7 hours out of it for $40, you have a good party game, use it at a few parties, it's fine. But like by yourself, I feel like unless you, I don't know, I feel like we just get really repetitive to play this game alone. I haven't tried the online. I don't really play Nintendo games online for various reasons, as most of Nintendo fans will know. But yeah, I don't know. I give this game for its price a 3 out of 5. If you don't mind spending $60 on a party game, I would definitely give it a try. I don't know how often you're going to play it at parties. I feel like even for parties get repetitive, and I feel like it's a good party game if you have the two pairs of Joy-Cons at least, or someone that can bring them over. Because honestly, I don't think it'd be kind of fun to play with controllers, but in my opinion, it's more fun as a party game with that, because I feel like it's not as because you're not playing against AI that's doing the jumping and whatnot. It's easier because you're both at a similar skill level. Whereas playing against AI, you're more expected to play properly. But if you're not playing against AI, you don't have to play as properly. But yeah, I don't know. 3 out of 5. If it was $40, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. If they add more content, again, it could be 4 out of 5. It's not a bad game at all. I mean, if you can get a used copy for $20, heck, I mean, yeah, you definitely can play this game for like 10 hours. But I don't know. I don't feel like this was like the longest lasting game. Again, it does give me Splatoon vibes. It does feel like a 2017 Nintendo attempt for a new franchise. And I am curious if ARMS will get a second game on the next gen console. I wouldn't surprise me if it didn't. Wouldn't surprise me if it did. I feel like Splatoon 2 was probably like, I don't know, if they gave this game like a Splatoon 2 treatment or a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe treatment, where they can call it ARMS 2, but then where it's basically the same gameplay, they just add more modes and make some improvements, add some new fighters. Yeah, I could definitely see, even for $60, an ARMS 2 being good, but I don't know if Nintendo is gonna want to do that. 2.5 million copies isn't nothing, but I mean, it's not as much as is expecting. There's some Nintendo Switch games that have 60 million copies sold, so that's not even a tenth as much. But I don't know. I do think it's a good game, just a little overpriced and not enough content. Let me know what you guys think of ARMS. Have you played ARMS? Did you get your Nintendo Switch at launch and you have ARMS at launch, or did you pick it up later, or did you not pick it up? Did you want to buy it but just never bought it? And if you did buy it, did you like it? Or if you didn't buy it, why didn't you buy it? I don't know, just let me know in the comments. And if you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, if you haven't already, please subscribe. It would help out a lot. I think I want to do mini consoles next. I know I said that last time, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to do mini consoles next, finally. And yeah, let me know if you guys want to talk about any other games. I kind of want to talk about Splatoon, talk about ARMS, since it reminds me a lot of Splatoon. But yeah, I don't know. Just let me guys know what you think. And comment, like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
I was shocked at first, but having arms like this is actually pretty rad.